Welcome to my show. I'm a guest here. Her name is Ridhi Kapoor. Mrs. Ridhi, how are you doing, ma?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ridhi. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a speaker and a visionary guide. Can you please, Mrs. Ridhi, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mrs. Ridhi?
Yes, I am an author. I have been dealing with some clients of mine, which which have led me to release my debut book, that is You versus You, and I am a tarot reader as well. Of course, I've been reading it for 4 years, but I am very happy about my release and the reaction that I'm getting from everyone. It's an amazing. It was in top 10 bestsellers on Amazon, so it really something that is a beautiful thing that just came out. Something that I did not expect, but yes, thank goodness it's happening.
Definitely, it's definitely unimaginable at times when we have a lot of great things coming to us due to the good work we've done, which is the book you've written, You versus You. So I would like to dive to that experience you've had, which you've dived into the book, Mrs. Ricky. You versus You, the ultimate guide to self mastery. Can you please, Mrs. Ricky, discuss more on the book? And do you also have more books you are planning to write in the coming future, Mrs. Ricky?
The book I have started, it actually makes me feel really amazing to see how it's changing people's lives and the reviews that I'm getting. It's just overwhelming at this point. Uh, yes, definitely. See, the whole point of this is to transcend your ego and live your best life where you're coming from. And as you see, when we are small, we are young, we do not think of dealing with ego, or we are not dealing with ego as in we are not reaching anywhere and thinking, okay, I shouldn't have gone there. Or when we are babies, we are just looking at our mirror and looking at my thighs, like thighs are, we don't think like that. Or if a small baby is trying to walk, maybe a couple of times it walks and it says, no, I cannot walk, I am a failure. We don't do all of that happens when the society gives us that feedback that you are not something that you can work with.
All right, I definitely agree with you with that, Mrs. Rishi, because ego is something that is definitely a big issue. And as you said earlier, we have to definitely get ourselves. There are a lot of belief. Even I myself, as a person, I've had the issue when I was young. My parents usually tell me this is wrong. You have to do this, and definitely that could not definitely, get us to a point that to get to the life that we really want to live and could easily hinder our happiness. So it is something that we definitely need to know and also get ways that we could definitely help ourselves in the areas when it comes to ego and when it comes to helping ourselves in such situation that will definitely help us to move and go in a better life that we've come for, Mrs. Ricky. And I also like to dive to the point of the ego, which your book really transcends on. Ego is something that is really happening in our society today. We definitely experience ego every single day that we find ourselves. So, why do you personally think ego is so influential in shaping our identity, our reactions, and also our choices? And how do you think we often do not realize that we definitely have this ego, Mrs. Ridhi?
So ego actually is our survival blueprint. We have been taught since the childhood that you should be this, you should be that. If you want to be loved or accepted by the society, you you have to do certain things certain way. There's a lot of conditioning that happens, and by the time we grow up, that those are masks that we wear. But those, we realize that they are us. Like, we do not separate ourselves from the masks, so we think we are the masks. It's just like when you are sleeping and you're dreaming. and you are like, kicking in your dreams, or you're falling from your dream, and everything, you feel it's so real, but when you wake up, that was not real. So this is how it is when it comes to our ego. We think that's us, and that's why it's very difficult to identify us separate from ego.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. Ego is something that, as you said earlier, is something we do not normally really recognize. Some people might have this ego within them, and definitely is something that they might not really know that they definitely have. So, helping themselves to definitely recognize this.
Because they think
And
it's them.
exactly. So it definitely help them to get themselves in a position that will improve their life, and also get them in a position so that they can heal that ego and get to a point that they will definitely become a better person in the life they've come for. So your book also outlines a structured approach for this aggression regarding the ego transcendence. Can you please walk us through that main stages? And also, what do you think are some inner shifts that happens when someone starts to live in this presence instead of ego? What do you think shifts? What do you think are the changes that definitely usually happen when someone shifts from that ego, Mrs. Rihi?
So it's the whole book that I have written, You versus You, is a step by step process of transcending your ego. What is transcending your ego means now is not your real self. It's more conditioning, social conditioning, and that you are dealing with ego and you are operating from ego. That's the first step that goes, and then there is how to realize all that. Is goes hand in hand with observation. So you are observing yourself. You're observing what you're doing. You're observing your thoughts. You're in your day to day life. You are just thinking what you are doing. So that's when you are doing the second step, observation. Once you have a little grip over your observation, is when you reclaim it. When you reclaim your power, you know, okay, this is who I am, and that's what ego is. Per se, like we were talking about jealousy, and if I am jealous of someone, I would probably operate from there. When I know that it's an ego driven operation, then I would maybe try to sabotage someone, or maybe I just trying to compete, get into that compete mode wherever I don't really necessarily need to. The person might have different path, I have a different path, but when I get into ego driven situations, I would do anything to reach where I want to, where it is really not even necessary. But when I am reclaiming it, so I know the difference between me and the jealousy. So I know, yes, there is jealousy, yes, I'm going to feel the emotions, but I know, okay, this is jealousy, but this is not coming from me. It's more of a ego driven jealousy. So I might just leave it there, recognize it. Yes, it's there, but I'm not going to act on it. And eventually it will fall off. This is called integration. This is where you integrate yourself and you realize that this is ego driven and that's pure me. That's where the gap is, and that's when you integrate it. This is what we are. Yes, of course, it's not linear. This is not something that will happen only once and you'll just leave it. The layers keep coming out, the layers keep coming off, and that's how you are getting the more pure self every day, every single day. You stop reacting and you start responding. You are talking from that gap, your inner truth. This is what is it. This is what happens when you are actually doing it from your pure self, the awareness that you are. So you don't live in chaos. The storm could be outside. There are a lot of things that could be happening outside, but you are centered in your own self. And that's where you operate from. That's a whole different world.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. Those five outlines are very, very powerful. And that is even regards to your book, Yours versus You. And definitely, if we definitely want to recognize our ego, we have to definitely understand ourselves. We have to definitely work on ourselves so that we could definitely work on that ego that we definitely have. So, working on oneself and also observing what he or she strength or weakness is very important. When someone can observe that, then someone will know how to strike and how to know how to attack or how to know what to solve, because it is very important. When the ego is there, as you said earlier, one do not usually recognize or observe it. And when someone definitely know, all right, it's like I have ego, then I can definitely try my best to observe this ego and know how I can definitely help on that. And those steps that you've put through us currently are definitely important so that we could definitely walk through it. As you said earlier, jealousy could something that you might have experienced. Also, I have also experienced some pain and setback. And if I could definitely know how I could definitely work on that, then definitely things will definitely go in its way. And also, when someone is definitely working on these things, there are definitely issues, there are definitely setback that will happen. So, what do you think are the kind of resilience or kind of setback you think people face when doing this inner work? And how do you think they can definitely overcome them with time, Mrs. Rihi?
Yes. So, what I have seen with myself and the people I have helped, it seems very difficult. So, at times you will just leave it saying that it's too difficult or it's taking too long. Yes, it is going to be difficult, definitely difficult, because you are shattering your whole self. You are shattering what you thought you are for so many years. So it's difficult. There will be tears, there will be crying, there will be a lot of things. But is it worth it? Yes, definitely it is worth it. You might have to go certain things. You have to have patience with yourself because that's self love. You will do a little bit extra when it comes to loving yourself. And this is what discipline is all about. It's about loving yourself. You want something better for yourself because you know that you deserve it. You have to go through a certain part where, have you seen the seed? It grows, so it breaks in the soil, but then the flower blooms. But that part is there when seed is in the dark waiting to come out, and it breaks, it shatters. So yes, there will be some painful moments for you, but is it worth it? Yes, definitely it's worth it.
I definitely 100% agree with you, Mrs. Rihi. We have to just definitely know the advantage that come with a situation we find ourselves. Ego is a huge problem, and if we want to solve it, it's also within our choice. And if we decide to solve such situation, ups and down will come, setback will come, pain will come, a lot of things will definitely come around, and we have to know how to conquer and also know how we could solve the situation no matter
You
what's
just
good.
need to know you're worth it. You need to understand that yes, it's for me and I am worth living the best life that I can.
Exactly. So we know that we are not doing it for anyone, just for ourselves. Because if we do it for ourselves, it helps us improve, and it also helps us solve a lot of issues that could come by the way in the coming future. So having this choice that this will help me, and facing the setback and the challenges that comes ahead of it helps us solve this inner peace, these issues that we find within ourselves, and solve this ego that we have, and we could live a happier life. We could live a more fulfilled life like you're living currently now, Mrs. Ricky, which you've improved several people's life now. That is the beauty of solving this inner peace that one needs. And I'm very
That teaches
happy.
me also a lot. By when I am trying to teach others, it teaches me myself a lot of things. So I am extremely grateful for that.
Exactly. As a teacher, is definitely, a teacher doesn't know everything. A teacher
Exactly.
learns every single day.
Every single time you're getting to a new layer of yourself as well.
Exactly. So that
And
is
that's
just
the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I wouldn't do it for my life.
is definitely if it's something that's impacting people's life. Why not? One can do it for the rest of his life and also improve the society that you've impacted in the life you found yourself. So I would also like to ask, from the experience of the people you've impacted so much people, you've improved so much people's life. Can you please share a powerful example of someone who really transformed their life by moving beyond ego, Mrs. Rishi?
I have something that, I have changed myself coming from a very small city, very timid person, very shy, do not feel like going anywhere, without someone being there with me all the time, or was too afraid to talk. Definitely forget about putting my point in forward. I would just not able to even talk like to a new person if I'm meeting someone. And right now, look, I'm talking to you, and my book is doing so well. It's just that my book has those steps which I have gone through myself. It's those each and every chapter has the exercises that could take you where you are, from where you are and where you want to go. So there are some exercises which will show you on which ego you are, because there are spectrum of egos. So there's very lower ego, then there is a transcendental ego where you are realizing that you are not your ego, but you are still not completely in your full potential. So you will know from which spectrum you are dealing with, and then you can take it further from there. Even my clients, some of them, they have been in a bad relationship because they did not realize their worth. So they were looking their worth in someone else. You can never find your worth in someone else. It always will start with you. So the way you think you are is the way next person is going to think you are. You are actually teaching the next person how you need to be treated. So they have now, my client is living the best life with the best partner she could ever imagine. So yeah, it's really someone that I would feel so proud to see.
Yes, that is definitely the beauty of the life we've definitely found ourselves, Mrs. Rihi. We definitely have to work on ourselves. If we work on ourselves, everything follows. We definitely cannot find this from someone else, as you said. We have to work on ourselves. And if ourselves is perfect enough, then I think the other side is definitely going to flow in the right way. A lot of people definitely have the belief we want to find it in someone else, but most of the time it's not just really the case. And we just have to try our best to work on some areas that could definitely help us. And lastly,
Correct.
Mrs. Ricky, what do you think? I just want, if there's anything that, or one thing that you think listeners can also adopt daily, a habit you think they can help, that could help themselves in this inner peace to that true self. What do you think you could recommend, Mrs. Ricky?
So in my book, there is a whole chapter on neti neti. Neti neti means not this, not that. So that is one thing that if I would recommend someone to start doing, this is where I think everyone should begin. Neti neti. Whenever you see anything, first tell yourself neti neti. That means this, not that. As in, this is not me. I am not that. So that's when you create a gap between you and your thoughts, between you and your ego. This is where you need to start, and this is where the whole journey will begin, when you have the gap showing up more and more every time. Of course, meditation is the best thing you can do for yourself. Like, even if you just sit for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm sure everyone could take out. Even if you just sit for 5 minutes and just, of course, no distraction, no books, nothing, not even books, just you and yourself, and watch what's going on in your mind, just like how you watch a screen and you're watching a movie of your consciousness. You just sit and you tell yourself, okay, let me see what I'm thinking, let me watch what I am thinking or feeling, and you just sit with it, even if it's for 5 minutes, and that's going to make That alone will make a huge difference.
Yes, I definitely, and that is the beauty. Little things sometimes in life can drive a huge impact. And also, that is why the value of your book, You versus You, the ultimate guide to self mastery, could definitely help someone further if they really want to know how they could work on this inner peace, because it will come with the details they definitely need. And that is the beauty. We definitely have to have the issue. Every single one of us could be having this issue when it comes to ego. And we have to understand, we have to work on ourselves. We have to try our best to observe these things that we have, and we have to know how we could fix it. No one is going to fix it. We have to try to look at the steps, these
It's
things that we think we need.
you versus you, always, always.
Exactly. We have to try our best to do it. And that is why I even like the topic, you versus you. We have to try our best to know the areas that we definitely need to do to help us, because that is the only way we can grow. When we help ourselves, then definitely the development will come, setback will come, pain will come. But we definitely know where we are going, and we definitely know how to help us. Lastly, Mrs. Rishi, there's a question I normally ask during the end of the show. From our forefathers, from our ancestors, there are a lot of beautiful things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mrs. Rihi, what do you think that thing would be, Mrs. Rihi?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I am seeing everyone, the educational system, it's all about, yes, you are learning the same thing everyone is. But in our ancestral period, people used to learn what they are good into or what they are interested into. So there was a time where you acknowledge your own interest, area of interest, and then you study towards that. And that's how you used to become master of whatever you liked. Right now, it's all, whether you are fish, whether you are a human, whether you are a dog, you are being given the same books and you are just apparently tend to excel in that. But to me, I think if someone could just bring at least certain things back where you are acknowledging this is your interest and you just focus on your interest. It doesn't have to be a degree. It doesn't have to be that. Those were the things that I would really love for it to be back.
Definitely agree. And that is why a lot of people are in a situation called burnout, because they have a lot of things they brought onto themselves, and they are trying to solve every single one of it. During that time, it isn't like that. We have this type of, this is what I want to do. We focus on it, we achieve it, we have a good family, we have a good life, we enjoy the life, and we live. Definitely, we're going to leave this earth one day. So every single person are just giving this kind of rushing burnout, and everything is definitely not the case, because whether we like it or not, we do it, we don't do it, we are still going to live this world. We just have to live a life as you've been doing in your life, writing a book, and also doing something that impacts in the society. You've done your part, and it's definitely something that will improve the world in its own way. So definitely, we hope that something like that definitely come back. We have something we're focusing on, and we just work with that to take care of ourselves, and also live a life that have meaning and also a purpose that will impact the society. I want to use this opportunity, Mrs. Rihi. I know there was a up and down. I sincerely apologize for that, for the time and the opportunity you've given to me to speak on this important topic, which is ego. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rihi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Mrs. Rihi. Have a wonderful day, Mrs. Rihi. Bye bye.
Bye.